Yes. Welcome in, everybody, to a new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 278 on this lovely Monday, June 12th, 2023. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock, and joining me is my partner in crime, NBA guru, maybe last NBA game of the year. We will see. Elvis Acosta, how are you doing, sir?
Don't say that. They don't say that. Hopefully not, but realistically, they'll possibly just might be. Let's talk about it, Dill. First of all, lovely morning, lovely Monday, people. It was great weather up here in the East Coast, right under 80 degrees. Sun started popping out after in late noon, so early morning, I was cruising out here. But let's rock, Dill. Let's rock.
Yes, sir. We got a great episode for you guys today. We'll recap the weekend. Some interesting things happened. First losing week in the USFL for the boys, but other than that, we got some baseball plays. Ugly slate, only 7-8 games to talk about there. And like I mentioned on the top of the show, we got NBA Game 5 tonight in Denver. Hopefully for Elvis's sake, it goes further. Hopefully for me, Nuggets and 5 ticket hits. But Elvis, let's get right into it. News literally about an hour, maybe 2 hours before. Fred VanVleet has declined his player option, $22.8 million he declined. He will now become an unrestricted free agent come July when the free agent period begins. So interesting. I don't know. He probably is going to have some suitors. I think Orlando's a good fit. I think going home, he's from Illinois, maybe Chicago. Lonzo Ball might not ever play basketball again, so maybe Chicago, or maybe he stays in Toronto. They did get a new coach. They hired a Grizzlies assistant, Darko Rajic. Definitely butchered his last name, but they hired a new guy, and hopefully, not hopefully, I hope in the meetings they didn't go, hey, we're going to get you your point guard, and then he comes a week later and opts out. But what do you make of all this going into Toronto? They got a new coach. Their point guard opted out. And if you don't think he comes back, where do you see a probable destination for him?
I think it's a bad start to your first week at a new job when you lose your starting point guard, Dill. Let's just start there.
Yeah.
I like the hire. I don't love it, but I like it just because we've seen, especially in recent history, first year head coaches that come out of nowhere have so much success. So I like the hire deal. I think he could possibly make some noise. You got the name that fits Toronto. You got that foreign swag with it. So I like that. And then with Fred, still, I think he hits the open market. I do agree. He should get a little more than $22.5 million in the open market. So I would have opted out too. But hey, he's been in Toronto basically his whole career deal, and I think he possibly want to test out the market. Possibly like you said, Orlando, or and see what Kyrie does. Maybe Dallas might be a suitor. The Lakers, D'Angelo Russell is gone. He's going to be gone. He's also a free agent. Maybe the Lakers will be in the market for the player.
What if I threw out, sorry to cut you off. What if I throw out, there's rumors, well, not rumors, they're probably going to cut Chris Paul. What about Heat? Not the Heat, the Suns. They need it. They got the pieces around them.
Dill, maybe, but me personally, this is if I'm the GM for the Phoenix Suns, I'm trying to gather supporting cast because I got superstars.
Yeah.
Fred VanVleet, he's more of like a star. I want to get pretty good guys that could surround Book and KD. Like you need KCPs, you need the Michael Porter, you need the Bruce Brown. Look how big Bruce Brown came in Game 4. You need the Aaron Gordons. You need the Gabe Vincents. You need the Marcus Strutes. You need the Duncan Robinson still. So you see these teams are in the finals. They just 1-star, 2-star ahead. You got Bam and you got Jimmy, you got Jamal, and then you got Yoke, and then you got pretty good supporting cast around them. So if I'm the Phoenix Suns, that's what I would do. Still, I don't blame you for thinking that way because hey, I agree with you. It will probably be a good fit because I think Fred VanVleet could possibly go into any team and mesh pretty damn good, honestly. But I just think the Suns. I think that's why they're letting go to Chris Paul. So let's just throw Chris Paul's contract away, which I think he was due like $30-40 million, and let's just with that money gather a good 4 or 5 solid players that can help us win a championship.
Yeah. How about if I throw out a team maybe a little under the radar, kind of in a rebuild, got a new coach in Monty Williams, the Detroit Pistons.
Hey,
Young team, but I would argue you say, oh, they got Jaden Ivey, they have Cade Cunningham. Yes, they have a young backcourt, and I'm a big Cunningham fan. You could go back from our first year doing the pod. I was harping on this guy going to be the number one pick, and he was. My argument, though, is he's very injury prone. And Fred VanVleet is a guy that, one, he plays both sides. He's an offensive scoring machine, and he plays defense, and he provides a stability in the backcourt, because it hurts Detroit when Cade Cunningham misses 20 to 30 games a season. So maybe you want to sit and be that veteran presence in a locker room like Detroit. What do you think about that?
they all like it. Maybe it takes some possessions away from Ivy, but three guards could work. We've seen it work with the Golden State Warriors. Probably could work with other teams as well. I just wouldn't love it, though, me personally.
Yeah.
Because you have Ivy, you got Cade. I think I think if Fred will want to go somewhere where he can really get paid and also still compete for a championship.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely good. I agree on the part that he definitely deserves more money, 22.8.
Yeah, I think he's gonna
fair, but he
like a
deserves at
4 year.
least.
I think he's gonna sound like a 4 year, 150, 160 around there.
What
So,
about, I know they signed Russell Westbrook, but the Clippers, they look like they had a point guard problem too last season too.
yeah,
So maybe looking for another veteran guy. He's vocal. Plus, he did win a title 4 years ago. He
Kawhi.
played with Kawhi. Norman Powell too. Norman Powell is on the Clippers.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
That might be the best fit right there, Dale. I think you just put it on the map. Hopefully, somebody in the front office of the Los
They're
Angeles
hearing this.
listen to this, because Fred VanVleet, Kawhi, Powell could possibly.
It makes too much sense, I think.
And I think if you could get him for the right price, I think it'll be the perfect match.
And now this is my super dark horse, which is why I waited last to say it. What about your Brooklyn Nets? Now, the Ben Simmons experiment, it flopped, bro. But VanVleet, I think he's a real good fit right next to Mikal Bridges. I think he could develop a guy like Cam Thomas, who has shown signs where he could drop 40 on you any given day. So I think you bring in a guy like that, it could help you. You're a playoff team regardless.
Still, realistically, I would love the move just because, one, we got the cap space.
Yeah.
So we need somebody that could, handle the ball and make the right decisions. I think off the rip, I think Bridges will be, the team leader. And then Fred VanVleet will be right alongside him. And then I love our supporting cast. I think we're one of the deepest teams in the NBA. We still got Spencer Dinwiddie. So, hey, maybe sign Fred, trade somebody, and try to get a superstar some way, somehow, though. But if we could get Fred VanVleet, I would definitely love that. Maybe trade some of the pieces we got from Kevin Durant and Kyrie and try to, land a superstar that way. Because remember, Dame, he posted that picture with the Heat jersey and the Brooklyn jersey right there. So, hey, send some of those Kyrie and KD pieces to Portland. 4 first-round picks. And let's get ourselves Dame Lillard and Fred.
Ooh, it makes a lot of sense. I would go, those are my 3 teams. I would go Clippers, I would go Detroit, and I would also go, I like the Suns. The Suns make a lot of sense to me too, but also the Brooklyn Nets. I'll do 4. The Suns, the Brooklyn Nets. And what do you give? We're counting out Toronto, acting like they just can't re-sign him. Do you think
but Toronto's there off the rip. Toronto's there. He probably has a house, probably has kids already established in school and whatnot, so possibly Toronto still has a long shot deal, but I still give the open market the best chance.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's going to get paid, which he deservingly so. And I don't know. It should be interesting. Unrestricted. They can't match it, correct? Or they can?
No. So the Raptors could offer him the 5 extra year and a little more money up top. In the open market, all he's eligible to sign is a 4-year deal.
Okay.
So it's either going to be a 4-year, You know, 120, 4 year 140, 4 years 160. I highly doubt he gets a 4 year 200.
Yeah, should be very interesting. We'll see where he goes. Little less than a month away from free agency, and I know we'll be diving into that. Little USFL this weekend, man. It was bad for us. I went 1-2. I hit on the under with the Michigan and Pittsburgh game. Michigan, big win against Michigan. They win 19-7. We were right. New Orleans Breakers, they smoked Memphis. Memphis, just one of their worst showings. Their offense didn't even show up. They lost 31-3. Houston, they were in it for the first half, and then here comes the Stallions. They win 38-15. Big, impressive win. They're the first team to clinch a playoff spot. And then, man, the Stars, they fucking disappointed me. So they lost to Jersey. The one, honestly, it's not the first time. So I've faded Jersey for the past few weeks, and it has been profitable. And the one time I go a little heavier on my units, the fucking Stars, they do me dirty. And they almost came back. They lost 37-33. And yeah, I go 1-2. Next week is the last week in the USFL, and then the playoffs start. How did you do?
1 and 2 is the same thing. Still 1 and 2. The New Orleans Breakers hit on the money line. That was the pick'em game, but
Yep.
my Houston Gamblers basically got smoked by basically the best team in the league, the Stallions. And then the first time I bet on the Stars,
Yeah.
I ain't do too many units like you, Dill, but they let me down. And guess what, Dill? Shame on us,
Yeah.
our own New Jersey Generals.
Honestly, it's more on you because I've been fading them from the start, but you've been loyal.
I've been dying with them, Dill.
And then the one time you don't, they come out and they actually do what they were supposed to do. They rammed the shit out. They literally had anything they wanted. Stars couldn't tackle to save their life. And hey, they finally played one quarterback, the New Jersey Generals, and look at that. They won the game. So they control their own destiny. Got a big matchup next week in the last game of the year. So overall, last 7 days for me, I had a bad day yesterday in the WNBA. Not so bad on the basis. So yesterday, 6-9. Last 7 days, 35-33. I'm down 1 unit. So yeah, it was a rough day yesterday in the WNBA. But other than that, I think baseball's been going well. Had a good UFC night as well. The GOAT retired, Amanda Nunes. But overall, a pretty good weekend. How about yourself?
Yeah, I went 6-7. I hit on Charles O'Reilly money line. Hit that one on the top, on the apps. Hit on that one deal, but 6-7 overall down units. For the people that tuned in Saturday,
4-2.
Your boy had a green day. So I even texted Dylan Sunday morning like, "Yo, look out your window, might be a comet coming." So the fact that your boy had a positive day in MLB was great. I think I went 0-3 in Game 4. Game Vincent went under points and 3-pointers. And then Miami lost.
Yeah. Tough one. We'll get into Game 5 in just a little. And speaking of baseball, let's get into it. We only got about 6-7 games on the board, and no better place to start than Fenway Park. Boston Red Sox hosting the Colorado Rockies. Big favorite for the Boston Red Sox, -240 on the money line. -1.5 is at -120. +198 for the Rockies. +1.5 is at even money. Over under is at 9.5. Elvis, you are the Red Sox fan. We will start with you. What do you got?
Yeah, I love the Red Sox in this situation, but there's really no value there. I'm not going to trust the run line just because we haven't been hitting the ball. And that's another thing. I'll lean the under. Usually I'll lean the over with the Red Sox at home. But look what we did over, the weekend in New York, which is probably the most hitting friendly ballpark in all in the world, honestly. It's so small in there. But I was worried that we wasn't able to put up a ton of runs over the weekend, Dill. Maybe we could switch that up at home, Dill. But if anything, I'll lean the under 9.5.
Yeah, I kind of like the Rockies here. They played Sunday Night Baseball, then they had to travel back home. They got home late last night. And remember last year, we like to kind of fade teams who play on Sunday Night Baseball. And at this price, I think is worth just a sprinkle. I know besides yesterday, they walked it off the Rockies, but prior to that, they've lost 6 in a row. But a lot of them were one-run games. They were in a lot of games. They even had a lead the other night, and they just blew it in the ninth inning against the Giants. So they're going to get a win sooner or later, and I think they might be catching the Red Sox in a good spot. Not the biggest James Paxton fan either, but I agree on the under. I think the bats have kind of died down just a tad, though. So agree on the under, but I'm going to play the dog. Let's go out to St. Louis. The Cardinals hosting the San Francisco Giants. Home puppies for the Cardinals, plus 114, minus 134. Road favorites for the Giants. Over under is at 8. Elvis, what do you got in this one?
Yeah, I ended up staying away from this. So I do lean the Giants, but Webb on the road, Dill.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna go to the window with it just because maybe if the Giants was at home, I know probably been a little steeper at a price. I would have been more confident if the Giants were at home.
Yeah, a little too big of a favorite, I would also argue. If it's like minus 110, minus 115, I'll throw a flyer on the Giants.
Confident on it, yeah, I'm gonna take the Giants and pick them.
But no, not minus 134. I like the over. I think we could see some runs here. I think both teams are good for some runs. Both teams, they're overs. They're over in 3 of the last 5 games. And in St. Louis, 18 and 11 toward the over in St. Louis this season. So Matthew Liberatore, he's given up 4 runs in his past 2 starts. He hasn't pitched past the 5th inning either, so not a lot of length. And Logan Webb is just a much different pitcher on the road than at home. Excuse me. So I think we'll see some runs in this game. So lean over in this one. Let's go to the next game. Texas Rangers hosting the Los Angeles Dodgers. Rangers minus 156. On the money line, plus 132 for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Over under is at 9.5. I'll start this one. I took the Rangers early yesterday. I was doing a pod. I took them at minus 110. They're all the way up to a minus 156. I can't advise anyone to do that. But Dane Dunning, he's been undefeated at home this season. He's only allowed 7 runs in 24 innings. And the Rangers, they've won 5 of his 6 home starts. The only loss they had was in early April, his second start. Last time he faced the Angels, he went 5 scoreless innings. He only gave up 2 hits and 1 walk. I'm not going to overthink this one. The Rangers, they have the better lineup. They're hitting 296 off of lefties this season. And I can't back Tyler Anderson in this spot. I just gave up 6 runs on the road to the White Sox, and the Rangers are a much better team than that. So I'm not going to take the money line at this point. I'll take the run line at plus 116 for the Rangers. What do you got here?
Yeah, I ended up going with you. I ended up taking the Rangers on the money line as well. With Dunning on the mound, he's undefeated at home. You just got to back this Rangers team. The Angels have been playing a much better ball over the past month, I could say, honestly. But I think Rangers, man, they just have something cooking, especially down in North Arlington.
Yes, sir. Now let's go to the next game. Wow. Kansas City Royals are home favorites against the Cincinnati Reds.
Wow. That's why you said wow.
Royals minus 116 at home, minus 102 for the Cincinnati Reds. Over under is at 8.5. Elvis, I understand why the Royals are a favorite. Greinke, he is better than Weaver. Honestly, I would look first 5 because I don't want to get the bullpens involved. And the market has kind of agreed with the line movement. The Royals opened up a minus 110 favorite. They're down to minus 115. The Rays are a very super young team. And, Greinke, he's a veteran pitcher. He shows up against these younger guys, and St. Louis is a big one of them. I think he has good stuff. He doesn't throw meatballs. I think if you look, everyone loves to fade the Royals because they're just a bad team. But if you kind of look under the hood, they're not. I think Greinke's a much better pitcher at home. So that's how I kind of would play it. I would play the Royals in the first 5. Let me see if I could get a line for you. Royals first 5 money line minus 120. That's kind of how I'd play the game. I don't want to get the bullpens involved. I do trust Greinke at home against a young Reds team. How about you?
Still, I ended up taking the Reds on the money line on the road. I took him at minus 102. Dill. I just think Zach Greinke could let off some hard contact, and I think Cincinnati could possibly score some runs on the board, possibly early as well. So give me the Reds on the run on the money line, minus 102.
Okay, let's go to Arizona. The Diamondbacks hosting the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies short road favorites, minus 110, minus 106 for the Snakes at home. Over under is at 10. Watch out for the Snakes. They won 8 of the last 10 games. They are rolling right now. So I got to be on the Reds, even though I'm not a big Tommy Henry kind of fan. I also took Ketel Marte, his hits, runs, and RBI prop. It's a combined DraftKings bet where you could bet the hits, runs, and RBI props. Ketel Marte's been a beast lately, so gonna take Ketel Marte's prop for this one. But I do lean with the Snakes at home. How about you?
Dill, I ended up taking the Snakes on the money line. Dill at minus 106. They're just a flat out better team. I'm starting to lose faith with the Philadelphia Phillies. Still, I like them early on. They just keep failing and failing me. So give me the D-backs, especially at this number at home.
Yep. Let's go out to Oakland, winners of 5 straight. Oh my God. Watch out. But now they're running into the best team in baseball, the Tampa Bay Rays. So little reality check coming for them. Rays minus 280 on the road, plus 230 for the Athletics. Over under is at 8.5. Zach Eflin going for the Rays and James Caprillion is going for the Athletics. What do you got in this one, kid?
Still, I think the play got to be the Oakland Athletics on the run line deal at plus 140. I think that has to be the play. I'm going to sprinkle on it. No, nothing official, but we'll have a little sprinkle on it, though, just because you got to ride the wave. You know, they're hot, though. Yeah. They're hot.
Yeah, so they are. They're making the case that they're not the worst team and that the Royals are actually the worst team.
Exactly, Dill. So, you know, do I give them a shot? Yeah. Do I love their chances? No. Yeah. But
I'll give him a fighter's punch. But Zach Eflin actually has looked pretty good this season, and it's just hard not to back the Rays. But I can't back him at this price, even on the run line. It's minus 164. So
fans there after 5 in a row.
Yeah, hopefully we got the attendance has gone up just a little. And then last game on the slate, we got the Seattle Mariners hosting the Miami Marlins. Seattle minus 120 at home, plus 102 for the Fish. Over under is at 7.5. This one was tough, you know. I do think the Mariners should be the favorite, but I feel like I got to take the plus price with the Marlins here. You know, Jesus Luzardo, he hasn't been terrible on the road, and he had that one bad start against the Giants, but outside of that, he's been pretty serviceable on the road. He can give up the home run ball from time to time, but I feel like the way the Marlins are playing, you just got to continue to back them until they show regression. Even last night, they were down 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th to the White Sox, and they rallied to win the game. Luis Rice is batting .397, almost 400 on the year. He's going to be the second base all-star. So I don't know. The Mariners, they're kind of going the other way. They're 2-8 in their last 10. I'm not a big Bryce Miller kind of guy. He pitches well against the poor and mediocre teams, but when he versus the good teams, they rake against him. So I don't know. I think the lines are actually wrong here. I actually am going to take the Fish. I think they're just a much better club. Second place right now in the NL East. Give me the Marlins here, plus 102. How about you, E? You're on mute.
For all the people watching out there, this is Dylan basically just saying and showing respect to the Miami Marlins.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming, people. And I'm going to lean with him as well, though. I think at plus 101, I think you got to roll with the fence here. I think they're just a better club on the road. If they were at home, I would have told you take them a run line, though. But I think the play is Miami Marlins on the money line.
All right, Elvis, good luck on the base. Hopefully you get another 4-2, a little plus money here today. So good luck on the diamond. Before we get to game 5, let me tell you guys about Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market. I actually had a Huckleberry before I came on here. So Viva, #1 hard seltzer in the world, voted by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. It only has 88 calories. It has no carbs, no sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV. So Viva, it's the perfect drink for your post-game celebration. Viva Tequila Seltzer is the spice of life, just like how we like our drinks. Whether you want a huckleberry, whether you want a elderberry, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna crack an elderberry to watch Game 5 tonight. So it has that artisanal blanco tequila for that subtle but refreshing drink. So the belief at Viva and at the Dream Wager is to live long, live well, and live it up. Elvis, let's get to it. Game 5 in Denver. Nuggets up 3-1. Brink of elimination. Nuggets -8.5. Line opened up 9. It's come down the other way. -8.5 where it sits right now. Over under is at 209.5. Elvis, you're the guru. I will let you lead it off. What are we seeing tonight?
Still, I hope it ain't the last one. Let's just start there. Still, I think what we've been seeing all playoffs long, Dale. I think we've been seeing Miami Heat be a much better road team than a home team. We've seen them win a game that everybody thought was impossible to win in Game 7 in Boston. And then we saw the Miami Heat do something Timberwolves, the Phoenix Suns, or the Los Angeles Lakers weren't able to do, is win a game in Denver. With that being said, I think Coach Spo will have those guys ready to go out there. I do expect a hard fight. I don't expect them to go in there with their shoulders down, head down, and just take an ass whooping. I think they're gonna go out there and fight, Bill. So my official play for this game is give me the Miami Heat +5.5 in the first half, Bill. I think they'll be able to possibly even go into halftime with a lead, Dill. We know the Nuggets make those huge halftime adjustments, and they come out in the third quarter and just start raining threes on anybody. So I expect Miami to come out fighting, show a little bit of grit, and to be honest, Dill, they've just been performing much better on the road than at home. You know, they lost 4 straight home games in the playoffs. I didn't think that's even possible for a team that made it to the finals. So, Dill, I'm gonna roll Miami in the first half +5.5, and then I'm gonna take a Duncan Robinson over 1.5 made threes.
Wow.
He's averaging about 2-3 made a game, and just to be honest, we saw what he was able to do in 10 minutes in Game 2. I'm not saying he's gonna give you everything in 10 minutes, people, but I expect Duncan Robinson to have a couple more extra minutes than usual, and I expect him to take his shots because he's one of the best shooters on the team. Schultz haven't been it. Cabo Martin haven't been it. Duncan Robinson has proven he can make threes in this finals.
I did forget to mention Tyler Hero is a game time decision. He's going to try to give it a go.
I think he plays, Dill, but
I don't think he gives him much.
No more than 8-12 minutes.
His point prop is at 7.5.
He could possibly, Dill, that's the thing with them shooters. He stands in the corner. He gets 5 shots up. It wouldn't shock me if he makes 3 of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's very interesting, this game. I mean, I have my Nuggets in 5 tickets, so I'm kind of just sitting back. What about the first quarter? We saw the Miami Heat take the lead last game in the first quarter. They're gonna come out and give the Nuggets their best shot. They have to. This is their last game coming out. They're gonna give them everything they got. +164 for the first quarter for the Miami Heat. Can you make a case for them?
Dill, I can, Dill. I even like the +2.5, but that's why I like the +5.5 in the first half, just a little more better. Because, I expect, when Duncan Robinson comes in, maybe Tyler Hero, Gabe Vincent, I just expect them to be a little more impactful when they first get in the game than, the role players for the Nuggets. The role players for the Nuggets have huge second halves. They don't have, great starts to the game. So I expect Miami just to come out a little more, a little more intensity, though, just because they know.
You got to. You have to.
This is when to go home. Nuggets could sit back like, we could lose this game, we could lose Game 6, and we can still come back, pop bottles.
Yeah.
So
that's what you want. You want more NBA.
Yeah, more. And with that being said, people, just because it's possibly the last game, your boy haven't hit y'all what a same game parlay. I know it's been a minute since I did one, people. I'm going to have a short price at +141. That means it's plus money, people. You can't go wrong. Give me Nikola Jokic 25 plus points. Give me Jamal Murray 20 plus points. Give me Aaron Gordon 10 plus points. And give me Jokic 10 plus rebounds, people. I know it ain't too juicy, but it's the point to make money, people. Put a nice little something on there and get yourself a nice steak tonight or during the week. Make something, buy your girl some flowers, buy your mom some flowers.
Father's Day's coming up.
Boy, all my people out there, you need a Father's Day gift. Put this parlay in. I'm telling you right now. Just smack
Plus what?
Plus 141. So you put 50 on it, you're gonna come out about buck 140 in. So you put $100 in, whatever gift you're gonna get your pops in is free 99.
So for me, like I said, I had a free bet on a sports book. They gave me a $10 free bet. I bet -8.5 on the Nuggets. But as if I didn't have it, I wasn't going to touch it just because I have the Nuggets in 5 tickets. So just going to sit back. I do have 2 props that I like. Bruce Brown over his par, points, rebounds, and assists over 15.5. He's averaged 26 minutes this series, and we've seen a spike because Michael Porter Jr. just fucking sucks this final. Right. So he's seen a spike in his minutes, and when he's played 25 minutes this year, he's hit this in 9 of 11 in the postseason, averaging 17.7. So with 25 minutes at home, he's hit this in 17 of 19 games. He's hit this in 7 of 10 versus the Heat. I think Bruce Brown could get over this. So I'm going to go over 15.5. It's not par, excuse me. It's points and rebounds. So going to go over points and rebounds and give me Caldwell Pope over 1.5 3-pointers. And I think this is like a ladder spot. So even at plus money, over 1.5 3-pointers is at plus 110. You can hit over 2.5 at plus 420. Over 3.5 at 6. Like, I think this could be a ladder spot for Caldwell Pope. I think he's a sharpshooter. Everyone's going to be, yeah.
I like those. You know why? Just because it's a small chance it could be a blowout. And if it is, they will get 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah. And I also think everyone's going to be focused on Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and their Aaron Gordon. And everyone's just going to leave Caldwell Pope in the corner, top of the key. And Bruce Brown, when he gets in, he's attacking.
Yo, Dill, to be honest, they can't stop him.
No, they can't.
Every time he gets the ball, he doesn't pass. I don't know if you noticed, though, he shoots the ball every time he gets it.
You know who he reminds me of a little of? Jordan Poole. He just goes shoot. Yeah. Every time he got the ball, he goes shoot. But you're right. I mean, they can't, and it's not even just Bruce Brown. They can't stop anyone. They're too tall. They're too big, and they're just too good, the Nuggets. We've been harping on it the whole season. They've been the best team in the West, and I don't like the narrative that people are putting out on Twitter. You haven't seen this, or maybe you have. They're saying they've had the easiest road. Excuse me? Yeah, it might not be the gauntlet of the East, but they played Devin Booker, Kevin Durant. They played Kat, Anthony Edwards. They played LeBron and AD. Now they're playing Jimmy Butler and Bam. It might not be the hardest, but it's no easy road. So I don't want this slander on the Nuggets. You have to give them credit. They're the best team. And I'm saying it now. It might be a start of a dynasty. I'm going to pull a LeBron. If we're not going to win 1, we're not going to win 2. I think they can win 2 or 3.
I agree with this, though. They definitely didn't have the easiest route. They did have an easier route. You could honestly say than the Heat. Just because the Heat made it as an AFC, they had to play in. They lost the first play-in game at home versus the Hawks. They had to play a second one against Chicago. So, and then they had to play the Bucks, the number 1 seed in the Bucks, and then they had to play the Celtics.
The Knicks.
Not to laugh about the Knicks. They're at the end of the day, they had to go to New York and play those games, Yeah. So
I think the Nuggets just made it look easier. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem, though, especially because they swept the Lakers. I guess nobody expected them to sweep the Lakers, so they're like, no, don't go past the Lakers. If the Lakers was in Eastern Conference, pretty sure they would have been in the finals. So don't just brush off the Lakers like that. And I guarantee you, if the Phoenix Suns didn't play Denver, they would have been in the finals. So, still, I don't get that, to be honest. Denver's been the best team since late November, and it hasn't really stopped, though. Joker has been the best player in the league for the last 2 seasons. 3 seasons, honestly. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's just something around on Twitter just because some people's favorite players are not in the finals. There's no Giannis, there's no Steph, there's no LeBron, there's no.
It's just lazy, in my opinion. Like, it's just lazy handicapping or a lazy narrative that people are trying to push just because it's the Nuggets aren't a big, sexy brand like the Knicks or like the Lakers.
They're not worth $4-5 billion,
Exactly. But their mascot, he's getting bread. He's the highest paying. So, no, but, I just didn't like that.
And his mascot wouldn't go to the ER over no Conor McGregor punch. Come on.
Oh,
man.
that was so stupid, too. Like, and my thing is he only needed Advil. He kind of was a little dramatic. Let's be honest.
He was looking for a check.
Yeah, of course. But Elvis, I know you're wanting to push it, but I'd be selfish if I said I want any more basketball. I want my ticket to cash tonight. Overall, I think it's been a very successful year. I don't want to say this is the end, but 96% sure I think it might be the end tonight. But and I just wish, to be honest, and I think that's a lot of people. It's like, it's not an exciting finals. Nuggets just, they kind of wiped the floor with them, but it is what it is. They had a good run. Miami, like you said, they went through a lot of good teams to get here. And the Nuggets, they're just too good. We can't take anything away from them. The Nuggets are too good. They're too tall. They're too talented. They're well coached. And I think that loss in Game 2 was the one thing they needed to be like, okay, it's a wake up call.
Yo, remember, we was just a couple bad foul calls, and
let's be honest here. We watched Game 4, you and me. Scott Foster, he's the extender, they call him, because he always wants to extend the series. How bad was that one call when Joker got his fifth when him and Bam got tied up? You could even admit, and you were on the Heat, that's a bad call.
That was a bad call. I agree with that, yo. Scott Foster always been a little iffy with me, but at the end of the day, the NBA loves him, and it's something people know. Scott Foster, as soon as they go out there, people just want to talk about him. Like he really is somebody.
I hate him. His whole career, he's always wanted to get hit by LeBron, and then he was wearing it good and he got the bloody nose. He was like, I've been waiting this for 20 years. But yes, Elvis, good luck tonight. Hopefully it's a good game. Hopefully we don't see a blowout. But any last words? What you doing for the rest of the night? I know you're watching the game, but anything? How was the Sweet 16? I heard you guys got crazy.
It was lit. Definitely had a good time with the family and whatnot. Definitely had a much better, time than I expected to. So, shout out to my little cousin. She actually,
Did she enjoy herself? She get a lot of good gifts?
I'm gonna be honest. She definitely got a lot of money. So,
I was gonna ask, what did you get her? A gift or some money? Yeah, I know you. All right, Elvis, thank you so much. That's gonna do it for this Monday edition of the Dream Wager. We'll see you guys on Saturday morning. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys in a few days. So please follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram. Guys could also find us on YouTube every Monday and Saturday, youtube.com/the Dream Wager. Subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days. Be safe, be well. We'll see you guys down the road. Peace.